Welcome back to a new video. So in this workout I did some complexes. I started out with some no foot snatches and they went really well. I was able to get up to 112, which is more than what I did before at 111, and I'm just kind of slowly chipping away at them. I would take bigger jumps when I'm trying to move the movement up, but I'm not too worried about the top end weight that I'm able to get to. It's more so a technical lift and just working on the bar path. Obviously, the feet not moving, so you have to really be precise when you're extending and going under so it goes in the right spot. So it's been helpful for that as well. And then of course, if I'm able to increase the weight, then that's kind of like a bonus on top of it. But it's just one of those lifts that it's nice. I don't know, it just feels like it feels like a consistent movement, and like except for that 61 there where I was super forward, but like it feels like a consistent movement. It feels like one that's like, all right, I'm gonna work on this today, and I'm not worried about like if I'm doing a no hook snatch, then I'm worried about like, all right, once I'm to 100, then it's gonna start to feel a lot different. I'm just worried about trying to move it correctly, and then as it gets heavier, just trying to be more precise with the extension, but just trying to make sure that I move fast under the bar as well, but also, like I said, just precise under the bar. So I think it has a pretty good carryover to the full snatch, especially for me because I tend to be either loopy or forward. Like the bar just kind of isn't consistent when I'm in the bottom, or when I'm catching it in the bottom of a snatch. And so the better I can get at that, then obviously the more consistent the top end weights will get. I went from 90 up to 102, so a slightly bigger jump, so you can tell I was feeling pretty good on this day. And really, like, I think that the reason why my snatches in general have gone up is because I've been doing these no-foot snatches. Because of the technique that you get from them, it carries over really nicely. I mean, that's why you see Lasha do them. It limits the top end lift that he's able to do, but it also forces him to have to move correctly, and it's a pretty easy movement to do. All you do is just don't move your feet. Everything else is the same. And I think the one weird thing that I have noticed with them, the reason I always use straps with them, is that they always like tear my skin on my hand. I have no idea why, but it always like rips calluses on my hands. It's always super painful if I've ever done them without straps. But because it's a complex or a variation, I never feel bad about using straps for them, especially because if I do heavy lifts at the end of a week, then I'm trying to use straps as limitedly as possible. But after that 112 there, you notice I did a couple overhead squats just to continue to build the overhead position to make it as stable as possible, because obviously helps with those in-between lifts if you are out of position, if you have excess strength. And for me, I certainly don't have excess upper body strength, so any additional strength I'm able to build is a bonus. But with the clean front squat jerk, I took this really big jump to 143. In the clean, I caught really well. The front squat moved really well, but then the jerk did not move very well. And the jerk for a little bit has been inconsistent. Well, I guess for a while it's been inconsistent, but like I'll have these little runs where I'm doing jerks really well, and it's just because I build that confidence in the jerk dip, and I feel like I'm stable, or at least I can feel the stability, so that I'm able to be really aggressive when I'm pushing up. Like with this one, a lot better. I was still forward, but I have the strength to do basically whatever jerk that I need to do after a clean. Like if I do the clean, I should be able to do the jerk, because I oftentimes have plenty of strength. And there, I thought about doing a second jerk, but I just dropped it because I was not going to have the energy to push it very high. But like I'll have these days and these weeks where I'll do like jerk doubles, or like do these really nice complexes and feel really good, and then other times where it's like I can't even jerk 140. And a lot of that's whether it's a little bit of discomfort in like my quad tendons or something, that obviously will have an impact, but a lot of times my timing or my aggressiveness isn't as high with them. So a lot of times, like doing stuff like this, even though the weight's light, I do some reps here with 61 and 102. It tends to have a really nice effect because I just kind of build the positions, I suppose, and I just try to maintain the position as the weights get heavier. And I suppose that's true of just about any lift, but I feel like with the jerk, besides the aggressiveness was pushing up, my footwork and like my split, since I've injured my hip, has kind of gone to crap. So just doing these lighter weights and really trying to reinforce the position I'm trying to feel, it allows me to have something to kind of feel when I'm lifting in a heavy weight, and I can kind of feel when the technique breaks down with my footwork. So then I know like to either stop there or of what to fix to make the next lift better. But I'm pretty confident in jerks. My cleans have been feeling really good. As my legs continue to get stronger, then obviously my jerk will be able to get stronger as well, because that is the biggest limiter. If I had to do a difficult clean, it's always difficult, extremely difficult for me to be able to do the jerk after. It's imperative for me, if I'm doing a heavy clean jerk, that I catch the clean really well, because I need as much energy as possible to do the jerk after. But it was a productive day, a good movement. I don't like that I shouldn't have jumped all the way to 143 from 102, but I would say I live and learn, but I'm probably going to do that jump again, because it's fun when it works, and it's not smart to do. So don't recommend it. Normally I should just go to like 125 to 140 and then maybe 150. But maybe then the next time I do clean front squat jerk, that will be the goal. I believe my best clean front squat jerk ever is 150. I feel like I've at least tried it a couple times before. I don't know if I've actually done it, but if I'm able to actually do it, then obviously that's a good indicator. And it's one of those interesting things. So like when you're thinking about like the lifts and the complexes, you obviously want to find ones that correlate to your main lifts well. Like if those lifts go well, then your main lifts go well, and clean front squat jerk is definitely one of those. Like if I'm able to do like 145 to 150, then that's a good indicator that my clean and jerks are going to be moving really well with just the regular movement. And same thing kind of like with block snatches and with no foot snatches. That's why I always kind of go back to them when I do my own programming. They've always seemed to correlate pretty well to the main lifts, and for most people, I would assume that there might be different lifts that correlate pretty well depending on your weaknesses. For me, a lot of it's technique, and then like just general strength for the main movements. But I suppose that's a pretty common fault for everyone, either strength or technique. Those are kind of the two main things. But for the snatch, it's more so the technique, and then for the clean jerk, it's more so the strength. Even though my jerk technique isn't the best, if I have enough energy for it, I usually can kind of yeet it up there. But anywho, I've rambled on long enough. That's it for this video. I will talk to you on the next one, and I hope you all have a good day. Peace.